This is a story of Darwin the missing dolphin. Once upon a time, there was a detective named Pop and his assistant detective named Nana, and they had a fantastic detective agency that could find anything or anyone at any time. And their detective agency was called Pop and Nan's. One day, a dolphin named Delsa showed up at their door frantic. It was a good thing that Pop spoke Dolphin, and he knew immediately that Delsa had lost her best friend Darwin. Pop had just the perfect junior detectives to put on the job, and their names were Glenn and Gavin. Junior detectives Glenn and Gavin were eager to take the assignment. Right before they left, though, Assistant Detective Nana reminded them that they don't speak Dolphin like Detective Pop does, and they would need Dolphin translators, and she gave each one of them one to wear around their necks. You'll need something to communicate with Darwin to let him know that we're just trying to bring him safely home to Delsa, his friend, said Assistant Detective Nana. Great idea, said both of the junior detectives, and off they went to try to find Darwin the dolphin. The first place juniors detectives Glenn and Gavin looked for Darwin was in the lake. They looked on top of the water, they looked underneath the water, they looked everywhere. But there was no Darwin the dolphin to be found. What they did find were fish. Lots and lots and lots of stinky fish. Next, it was Junior Detective Gavin's turn for a great idea. I know, he said. Let's look in the forest, the tropical rainforest. But all they managed to find in the rainforest was lots of rain and a really bizarre looking octopus. They quickly became friends with Ollie the octopus and played with him for nearly 2 days before they remembered the very important task of finding Darwin the dolphin. Playing with Ollie the octopus didn't waste time, though. It was very important because Ollie gave junior detectives Glenn and Gavin a really great idea. Why don't you look in the ocean where dolphins usually live? So junior detectives Glenn and Gavin went to the ocean to look for Darwin the dolphin. They went to the beach and looked high and low. They looked in all of the rocks, but the only thing that they found were some really yummy looking crabs and some lobsters. So while they had a really yummy dinner that night, it didn't help them to find Darwin the dolphin. The junior detectives were not going to give up, though. That night, after eating a delicious dinner of lobster and crab, junior detective Gavin said to junior detective Glenn, "What about using our dolphin translators that assistant detective Nana gave us to communicate with Darwin?" Glenn thought it was a brilliant idea, and they started to use the whistling translators. All of a sudden, from out of the ocean, a giant killer whale jumped up onto the beach and started to gabble and mabble and babble at junior detectives Gavin and Glenn. And he's used his fin to point out at the ocean, and guess what they saw? That's right. It was Darwin the Dolphin. Junior detectives Glenn and Gavin saved the day, and they celebrated their victory by going to the Silverwood amusement park and riding every ride that they could. And Darwin and Delsa lived happily ever after.